in the game, we really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block, helmets casket is top. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, fifth place, eighth place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision, we got too many. Get your tech. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, regroup. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, yeah. Do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper, more naturally gifted to come around.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, a.k.a. Josh Thomas, here with another Fore Thoughts PGA podcast brought to you by DFS Army, your one-stop shop for everything you need in DFS. If you are not a DFS Army VIP yet, use that code Up North for 10% off a VIP membership. That gets you access to everything. Guys, we're just killing League of Legends. Like, I don't even know what these sports are, but crushing every single week. So we are here. It is the US Open. It is crazy. It is June 14th, and it is the third major of the year already. This new schedule has still got me a little bit tripped up. But yeah, we are here for the third major of the year, the US Open Father's Day weekend. And we are at a classic venue this week. We are at Torrey Pines, Tigers Playground. So here, Fore Thoughts Podcast, I'm going to give you my Fore Thoughts on roster construction this week and things that you should be thinking about when you're building lineups. I'm going to save the good stuff for our DFS Army VIPs in our Discord. Kind of our schedule for the week is hopefully I'll have all our cheat sheets up for DFS Army VIPs by tomorrow afternoon. That'll be 4 day. Showdown probably be up on Wednesday, but tiers, which have been absolutely crushing lately. So we'll have those up for you Wednesday afternoon. The RS should be up or Tuesday afternoon. Hopefully RS is up sometime here in the next 24 hours. And then we will, I'm going to do a live stream Wednesday night answering questions for our VIPs. That's the plan. As long as my kids behave, we'll be up for that. So yeah, well, everything you need for this week. Again, beyond that, if you're a DFS Army VIP, you get access to the Discord. I am there answering questions. Taco's there. We just have so many sharp guys within our community there as well, as you're going to see here in a second. But yeah, this is the first look. US Open, Torrey Pines. If you guys remember, this was 2008 Tiger and Rocco Mediate, which I think is a good indicator sort of how I expect this week to go a little bit, and we'll touch on that here in a second. But yeah, 2008, they had to play that 18-hole playoff on Sunday. Tiger was on a broken leg, torn up knee. It was crazy. But first, last week, guys crushing again. I just wanted to give a couple of guys a shout out. E-Money. You get to watch sort of as the week goes on, right? I always tell people that they can't panic early in the week if things aren't looking great. Like, things sort of even out as the week goes on. You don't win golf tournaments until, especially in DFS, until Sunday. So E-Money was a little bit rattled, thought he wasn't going to cash anything, and ended up crushing for what? Almost a double up there at $7,000. One Shu Liu on FanDuel. This is his second stinger takedown in a month. He's taken down this $3 contest twice in the last month using our notes and tools. So super stoked for those two guys, just having a really nice week. And look at that. There's tiers for E-Money. I was just talking about it. Tiers have been really, really good for us lately. So I'm excited for that. So here we are. Fore Thought number one. And I think this is maybe the most prescient topic that, and it doesn't just go for golf, right? This goes for every DFS sport, and that is to ignore the noise. There is, DFS is different than it was, even a year ago, right? But I'm thinking more back 3 or 4 years. Like, there are so many analysts, there are so many different sites, there are so many people on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever, trying to make a name for themselves. And I get it. I've been there, done that. But they're trying to get, go viral or get recognized or be like, hey, I gave this piece of information, or I was on Garrick Higgo first, or what. That part's just bullshit. Like, who's on Garrick Higgo first? His mom, right? So there's so much data out there, and there's so many narratives that a lot of it is noise. And being a good DFS player really comes down to being able to cut through the noise and find what's a signal, right? So like what actually is important, right? So much of it, again, it's just noise. It's just stuff that doesn't matter. And we fall into these traps based on these narratives, and our lineup construction is hindered because of that. And we're actually really costing ourselves money long-term. So like this is the US Open. Guess what's going to happen this week? We're going to have 4,000 pictures like this right here, or videos of the rough. All right. And we're going to be talking about the rough all week and how thick it is and who's at an advantage here. And it's noise. It's everybody's got to play it. It really doesn't help one player or another. All right. It's not indicative of success of how you play out of the rough, because the reality is that the more you hit it in the fairway here, the better off you're going to be. I would venture to guess that the guy who wins this week is going to be in the middle, like around 50% of fairways hit. And that's the other thing, is that we get so uptight about these things. And of the 150 golfers in the field, 130 are going to be within this like 50 to 60% range of fairways hit. And at the end of the day, is that a signal or is that just noise? It's just bullshit. It's noise, right? And you're going to make decisions. So are you going to make decisions based on, all right, the rough's really thick. So what stat is it? What stat am I going to use for that? They all got to play out of it. All right. Sure. Could you give somebody a bump that maybe hits a few more fair? Like, great. If you want to use that into your model, that's fine. But there's so much time and energy spent on stuff like this. And the reality is at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. All right. Other things that there's a ton of noise out there. It seems like almost every single major week we get this, is that, you know, the 8 of the last 9 US Open winners are between the ages of 27 and 33 and were born in December and had 5 top 5s in the last 36 events and took a dump on September 18th. And like, again, that shit doesn't matter. You know why most of the golfers that have won the US Open are between 32 or 28 and 35? Because that's when golfers are good. Like, it drives me insane to see stuff like this. And people think that by like saying it, they're really, really smart. And the reality is that it doesn't matter for shit. It doesn't matter at all. All right. Don't fall into these traps. All right. The other thing I saw this week already, I mean, it's Monday and people are talking about the fog layer. Like, sure, the air will be denser. That's fine. Maybe that gives a tenth of a stroke advantage to bombers. Again, so much effort is put in, energy is put into things in DFS that don't matter. Ignore the noise. That is Fore Thought number 1. I really could probably just end it right here, right? Like, that's enough for me, but we'll keep her going here. Fore Thought number 2. I'm not convinced that Torrey form matters, but I do think that US Open form might. I'm not a course history truther, and maybe a little bit. And you know, there's this idea that, you know, okay, well, yeah, we're playing US Open at a different course every year. Does that really matter? And I kind of think it does. All right, just because the USGA is going to, yes, be at different courses every year, but their setup is going to be similar. They're going to try, the USGA really believes in the rollback. They want to, you know, hurt bombers. They're going to try to set courses up similar ways. All right. The reason that I don't think Torrey form matters is because Torrey, you play North and South on Monday or on Thursday, Friday. But then you also, like, that's in January or February. You're looking at Rye. Overseas, the Kikuyu's not as prevalent. You're going to be dealing with different lies. You're going to be dealing with, you know, different tee setups. Like, they're going to play this course this week at like 7,600. Torrey plays it around 72, 73, depending on the day. So I think it matters a bit, but I'm not going to be like, you know what, Patrick Reed won here in January. He's a good play. He's a good play. Not because he won here in January. But I do think that US Open form gets a little bit overrated or underrated here. Guys like Xander, guys like Brooks, guys like Louis, who just continually, every single year, doesn't matter what sort of form they're coming in with, they are going to finish in the top 10 or 15. They just, they are built for these sort of conditions. So I think that I'm going to weigh a US Open form a little bit more than I do Torrey form this week. So how guys have played historically in US Opens. Now that's very difficult to do for guys like a Will Zalatoris who has one event, or, guys who I like a Garrick Higgle or a Wilco Niederbauer, like guys who I think are really good course fits this week that are going to be cheap, but they just haven't had the opportunity to play it this week. So that's again why you can't rely on course form or course history for everything, right? Roster construction this week. All right. I really think that there are two separate, two different types of builds, right? Are you going to go with the balance? That's going to be what the majority of the field is going to do, right? You can build a sexy looking lineup by going balance, right? So I got in this lineup here that I started, I got Hatton, Zalatoris, Answer, and Louis, and I still have 85-50 left for my last two. You can build something like this. What I would suggest is that if you are going to build like a 4-core balance, what you want to do is you want to ram in like a John, for lack of a better term, a John Ram, and then run in a sub 7K guy here. All right, and I was looking at roster construction of last US Open in September when Bryson won, and it was interesting to me that you had these lineups that were very similar to this, but they played that low owned Bryson up top, and then you have in the same winning lineup, you have two guys that are complete opposites. Brendan Todd, who was playing pretty good golf, but hits it like my grandma might hit it further than him off the tee, and Bryson DeChambeau. There are multiple ways to skin a cat. You can play this course a variety of ways. So don't be afraid you don't have to build lineups that are like all bombers or all short game specialists or whatever. Like, don't be afraid to get a little freaky with your lineup construction here, especially in GPP. Like, we're trying to win here. I'm not trying to get second. I'm trying to win a GPP. I want a top 0.01% finish. I'm not trying to win $10. I'm trying to win $1 million. So don't feel like you have to build like the same sort of lineup. So like if you're going to build balance like this, I think that's the interesting way to do it. The other strategy that I think that people are going to employ this weekend, this is not going to be as popular, but I think might be the better play, is to go at least 3 studs up top. You're left with 67-33, right? And you're just kind of going to go hope and pray on the bottom guys and hope they get through. But it happens every year, right? If you can hit on the guys down here and you have these studs up top, like, again, I ain't trying to get min cash. I'm trying to win this damn thing. So I love a build like this. Brooks, Bryson, Xander. You're going to skip over this chalky mid tier, which, I mean, a couple of these guys are maybe core plays for me this week, and I'm going to have a ton of. But yeah, I really like a stars and scrubs sort of build this week. Distance matters, and that's going back to my point a minute ago. Distance matters, but as with any US Open, there are multiple ways to get it done, right? So I just pulled this off the PGA page, but our studs, the Brysons, the Rorys, the Cam Champs, the Wyndham Clarks, Will Gordon, guys who pound it right off the tee. Neiman is actually really sneaky long. You forget about it because he weighs about 1.5 pounds, but Neiman's I think a sneaky long play this week. Gary Woodland, who's interesting this week, but again, don't write somebody off because they're short. We've said it all along that you guys like a Brendan Todd show up in the U.S. Open and contend. Guys like last week, Luke Donald was popping for a long time because his iron play was so good. And here's the other thing that bless me, those guys are gonna be able to take different lines. It's gonna look a little bit different for them, but they're used to that. We act like this. They don't play this every week. Like, yeah, it's an extra 200, maybe 300 yards, but that's what, one club. Like Luke Donald hitting his hybrid in is not that much different than Luke Donald hitting his 5-iron in. Like, that's a similar play for him. Kevin Kisner, guys like that. Like, Kiz has said that he can't contend at a long course. I think that's bullshit. But these guys can play here. So again, don't feel like you have to load up on guys who pound it 1,000,000 miles off the tee. You don't. You really don't. Does it give you an advantage? 110% yes. All right. They have talked a little bit this week about letting the rough grow up a little bit more towards the greens, which in effect I think hurt the Bombers because now they're dealing with a little bit thicker rough closer to the greens. But again, you can't make roster decisions based on that. That's bullshit noise that you just that hinders your ability to make a proper decision. And I will, if playing, guys who hit a low ball flight because they are better in the marine layer, that's going to come in and at the middle of June here. That's what causes somebody building that sort of way, causes somebody to win the US Open, Millie Maker, and I lose because of that. Great. I can take that. This is a small sample, right? Long term, my way is going to win you more money over the course of PGA golf season. So again, we have weekly packages. PGA, you want to get in right now, $9.99 for the week. That'll get you everything here. But VIP is where it's at. Again, $19.99 a week, $70 or $69.99 for per month auto recurring. Use that code up north for 10% off. That goes down to about $60 a month. That gets you access to everything. And if you are not winning $60 a month with your DFS Army VIP membership, it's not us, man. It's you. Like these other coaches here are absolutely crushing their content. I am so excited about it. We have new things on the horizon here too, on the betting side. Check out Sharp App. I think it's at Twitter, or Twitter's on Twitter. It's at Sharp App. That is going to be launching here, and then hopefully the next week or two with our sports betting side. And I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be providing some content over there for them as well. So, but yeah, we have the US Open this week. Again, everything else this week is going to be VIP only, I believe. So if you want to get in, you can hit me up on Twitter at DFS Up North, or just use that code Up North. Get in, hit me up in Discord, and we'll chat soon. All right, guys, have a great week, and we will see you later.